Alright guys, in today's video we're going to be working on a problem with the climate control module here. And when we cycle through the zones of the AC, right, this guy here, top and bottom works. This guy here, just on the top works. But when we put it on recirc, you get this tapping noise. And that tapping noise is because as you move through these different positions, there's an actuator motor that has to move a mechanical assembly to make the selections that you choose. And when we go down to this bottom selection, either the teeth on the gear or the rod or something associated with the motor itself in that actuator module is slipping. Either it's stripped out teeth or something of that nature. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be replacing that defective module. All right, let me show you where this module is located. So we're just going to use this remote camera. Hopefully it'll cooperate and stay put. We're going to follow this electrical connection that you see in the picture right here. Right, it's cruising right underneath the blower motor. And we're on the passenger side footwell. And if we follow this little wire up, see that blue connector? That's the module. And you can see in the picture here, there's a small fastener. It's actually a 5.5 millimeter fastener up in your upper left frame. It's on the module. It's going to be in the lower left. And then there's another one that's just out of view of the remote camera up in the top right of the module. Can't really get the camera up there to get a look at it. So it's just two fasteners, and this guy's going to come down. Now I can't find anywhere I can route this camera where you guys can watch doing this, but there's really nothing to it other than removing those two fasteners. And again, we're on the passenger side footwell, and if we actually pan the camera up live, right, this little wiring harness that I got my finger on right here, this is what you're going to follow up to find that module. And that's what we were just looking at. Now let me show you the tools that we're going to try to use to get under here. All right, so space is very cramped, so I'm going to try this 1/4 inch palm ratchet first. And we've got this 5.5 millimeter socket on the end. We'll see if we can get up there with that. It might be actually too big. If it is, I've got one of these small 1/4 inch micro ratchets. This little guy's only like 2 inches long. So one of these is going to give us enough room to get up there and pull those two 5.5 millimeter fasteners out. And again, sorry guys, I can't film it for you, but I'll bring it down and show you what we're talking about. All right guys, so we got this first fastener out that sits right there. And this is on the bottom of the module, and we go all the way to the other side on the bottom. Get this guy oriented just right. You can see it's just a peg, an alignment peg. So we just have the one fastener that's up on the top still. All right, we got the last one of these little fasteners and ended up using this little micro ratchet to get up in there, get there. Now with those both removed, just going to pull this off of the little rod that it sits on. All right. And then looks like we can see how this guy comes off. Looks like we just lift it up and twist it, and it comes off. All right. We're going to replace this guy with a GM 1584 2338 or an AC Delco 1573 513. And the only thing I'm looking at here is obviously a newer number. Just trying to see, so the position that this is in is a little different. That's going to make it harder to get where we want it to be. So I'm going to have to go up and twist this rod to match this setting here. So it looks like when it's sitting like this, the rod is cocked a little bit towards the firewall. Just if I can move that with my hand or a really small crescent wrench back into either the straight position so we can slide this guy on, right? So let me reach under there and see how hard it is to move that, and then we'll come back. All right, guys, just to show you what I'm trying to do here, right? So here's where the module mounted, right? So there's one of the screw holes. There's the alignment tab, and then right up there is the top screw hole, and that white guy is the end of the rod. So that's the guy I'm talking about, getting up there and giving a twist and making them straight. All right, guys, before trying to turn that with a wrench, I'm just going to see if maybe turning the key on. Yeah, that's what I thought. So she's going to turn around until she hits a stop. Now we've kind of got it very close to where we want it. Let's see if we can get it to fit on that way. All right, guys, just a view from underneath here. I've got this pushed back onto that rod, just about to put the fasteners back in. All right, guys, just a quick glance at the service manual. There's the module from the drawing point of view. If you want to get the torque value for this guy, both of those 5.5 millimeter screws get torqued to 9 inch-pounds. It's really cramped in there, but if you have a very small 1/4 inch torque wrench, it will fit. All right, guys, we got those fasteners in. It's a real pisser, but it is doable with the right tool. All right, so let's try this again. So bi-level, top and bottom. That's working. Just the upper. That's working. Now recirculate. And now that's working. And then if we did go further, you're supposed to be able to go over here to defrost. I'm just putting my hand up on the upper vent here. And you can feel that the air is coming out of this little center vent here. And then this last one is a floor type heater. Reach down and see if we can feel anything. Yep. All right, so this is fixed. So that is all this needed. Pretty simple repair if you've got the right tools. Pretty inexpensive part, even going OEM. I hope this video helped you out. If you got questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below and I'll try to help. If this helped you do it yourself and save some money, especially if you can grab the parts from the links in the video description below, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching.